Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Roman versus the Collective. Today's topic, do you believe in spanking your child as a form of discipline? Let me tell you the truth. So, I grew up in a typical Brooklyn, Puerto Rican household, single mother working what seemed to be like 27 different jobs just to support us. And at the time, I was transitioning from my father's household, which was very abusive, emotionally, physically. It was bad. And I was an angry kid, rightfully so, but angry nonetheless. And I was so combative towards my mom, so combative. So yeah, growing up, I definitely got spanked, and I definitely believed I'm better for it. I believe I really didn't give my mom much choice there, and it's a heavy contrast to how I deal with my kids. It wasn't at first, but it is now, and let me explain. So I want to say like a year or two ago, I was scrolling through the internet, and I came across a video, and in the video there's this gentleman talking about this precise topic, and basically he said, "Hey, are you hitting your child because you're protecting them from something, you're trying to teach them something, or is it because you lost your patience and you're getting your frustrations out on your kid? So your kid is reaping the benefits of you losing control. Is that where the hitting is coming from?" And when I saw that video, let me tell you this, it was like super eye-opening. Now, in my mother's case, no, I believe my mom was spanking me to, again, to get me to even listen, because I was just not in a place where I could even entertain the idea of anything she was trying to tell me. And honestly, I feel like I'm better for it. My kids, though, they don't go through that trauma that I went through when I was a kid. I'm not fighting this deep resentfulness to the world when I'm dealing with my kids. My kids have had it pretty good. So I can't repeat what was done to me because it doesn't work for them. Since I saw that video, I can't even remember the last time where I spanked one of my kids. I may tell them I might. Like, I'll tell them, like, you keep doing that, you're going to get papao. But it's also to a point where sometimes they joke about it themselves and they laugh at me. Oh, daddy's gonna give papa. But yeah, I can't remember the last time, and trust me, it gets hard. But I think that's when it's most important to, number one, understand where that's coming from. Again, am I hitting for discipline reasons, to teach or to protect, or is it coming from I'm frustrated? And if I'm frustrated, that's where your partner comes in if you have that relationship. But it's important to build that relationship. So we have this thing where one of us, if we get, flustered, or we're at our wits' end because one of the kids is just really in a bratty mood and just super combative, shoot a text. Hey, you need me to take over? Hey, I can't do this anymore. I need you to step in. Cool. And that's when the other one, who's cool, calm, collected, now takes their turn at it. But for the most part, that's worked for us. And if not, the major difference that I've seen with disciplining my children is when I discipline them for something, I explain the why. So we got to remember that, especially at this young age, my kids are pretty young. They're sponges. They learn. They wanna create. They wanna, like, they're at that developmental stage. Granted, our brains develop well into our 20s, but what I'm saying is, like, this is the age where it's make or break. I feel like, right? These are the fundamentals that you're building this house on, and so with that, I explain the reason why daddy's mad. I explain the reason why you can't do what you want to do. I explain, why it's not okay for you to talk to your mom this way, or whatever the case may be. And I'll give you the example with my son. Sometimes he has this like pent up rage. And I definitely feel it's genetic, because that's how I was and that's how my father was. We have this like rage inside, and it could be like the smallest thing. But again, I'm in my 30s. I've learned to control that. My kid is nowhere near that. So I feel like even sometimes he's struggling to even deal with that. Like, why am I so mad? So he has this thing too where I'll ask him, or he'll even tell me, I need a few minutes. And I'm like, cool. And I give him space and I let him calm down, because in that moment, what can happen is I'll be trying to talk to him. He's going to tell me, no, no, no. He's not going to try to hear nothing. I'm going to grow resentful and frustrated, and then I'm going to end up spanking him. But for what? He hasn't done anything. He's just telling me in that moment he's not ready to talk. So I give him time and I circle back. And I've never had a moment where my son isn't receptive to what I have to say after giving him that time. We've always circled back and we've always talked it out. And then he understands, and then he apologizes. And when he apologizes, it's sincere, because the one thing that me and my partner don't like to do is to force them to apologize. And when they apologize, they also need to vocalize why they're apologizing, because it's also important for them to understand what they did wrong and why they're saying sorry for it. I don't want just some bland, I'm sorry, daddy. Okay, but why are you sorry? Oh, I'm sorry because I kicked the dog today. like, tell me the reason specifically you're sorry. They've never kicked the dog. I'm just giving an example. But it's important to communicate with your kids, and that has a longer lasting effect than if I were to spank. Because now with the spanking, I also feel what I'm fostering there with that anger, right? I feel me again, just me. I feel like when I'm angry and frustrated in that moment and I decide to spank, I'm channeling that energy and I'm giving it to them. And then it makes it harder for them when they're older to come and speak to me about it, because now they just fear the punishment. They fear the discipline. They fear that physical, as opposed to feeling free and open to talk to their dad. So again, I'm not saying that spanking is wrong, but what I am saying is, why are you spanking? Think about that first. If the answer is in that moment, it's because I'm frustrated, don't do it. Don't do it. Tag in. And if you're by yourself and you have nobody else, just say, you know what? Let's not talk about this right now. Let's talk about this later when dad has had a time to think about it and to calm down and so on and so on. Let's come back to this. Cool. Like, you got to figure that out for yourself on how to do it. But my point is to, before you do it, just take that extra second to think about why. If it's absolutely necessary, I'm okay with that. But again, a spank versus a beatdown are two different things. I'm never going to advocate for a beatdown. But what I'm talking about is, like, a light slap, or like, if your toddler keeps on doing this thing where they keep trying to put their finger in the socket, I'm going to take their hand and I'm going to pop, pop. No, like, talk to them. I'm not saying people's elbow on nobody. That's not what I'm talking about. So if that's what you're thinking right now, that's not a thing. We're talking about a quick spanking. But again, I just think in the long run, it has way more impact if you talk it out with your kids. It helps them learn, and it also builds your relationship. Now I feel like I can go to my parent, because my parent has always just sat me down and explained why this, or we've worked it out where I can work out my own problems on my own. Like, because our job as parents, yes, it's to take care of them, nurture them, and so on and so forth, but it's also to develop them for the outside world. The outside world that's crumbling around us. The outside world that every time you open your phone or turn on the TV, there's some horrendous act happening. And personally, I just feel like if more parents just did that job, of talking to their kids and building those relationships and ensuring that the foundations for them are set right, a lot of this could be avoided. That being said, that concludes today's topic. I thank you for, again, like, comment, subscribing, and sharing. I appreciate you guys for hitting me up and giving me the topics to talk about. I really do enjoy this channel. I enjoy our time together. Oftentimes it does feel a little one-sided, but that's okay. It's, again, the reason I do this is because I want to leave something behind that somebody can come across one day just scrolling and be better for it. So the same way that I was scrolling that one day and I saw that video about spanking and I honestly feel I've been better for that video, I would like to think that my videos can help somebody in need as well. Catch you on the next one.